Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome along to the Raw Link Up podcast. I am your host, the amazing Sniper Beef. We are here for podcast episode number 3. I am joined alongside my co-host.
Hello, guys. My name's Devastate. Welcome to episode 3. We've had a fantastic couple of episodes so far, and I'm incredibly excited to welcome along our special guest on this episode. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi all, I'm Masanevre, a fellow gamer of the Rolling Cup.
Good stuff. Good to have you here, Masanevre.
Thanks for having me.
For those of you who aren't a fay with the Raw Link Up, just to give you a brief refresher. So the Raw Link Up is a series of gamers, that is us and a few others. We take a week off every year, and we have done for 25 years. And we essentially take our PCs along to one of our houses, take out all the furniture, take our PCs along, our desks, our chairs, hook them up, play PC games, and order pizza 2-3 times a day, every day for an entire week. And it's an absolutely incredible week. So that is what the Link Up is. And this is our podcast. This is episode number 3. We're here to talk all things gaming. So today we've obviously got a very special guest in Masanevre joining us. But first I'm going to pass over to Devastate, who's going to touch on one of our new social media outlets.
Yeah, thank you, Beef. Just to let the community know, we have this week just set up a Reddit account. So you can go to our subreddit page, which is reddit.com/r/the Royal Link Up. And the purposes of that is for everyone to put in there any interactions you'd like to see from us, anything you want us to react to. And if you buy merch, get it in there as well. Lots of stuff for you to really feed into the community that we're trying to build around the Royal Link Up. So I just thank you to visit the page. The link will be in the description below. Visit it, sign up, and then hopefully you can join in some of the fun we're hoping to have on there.
Yeah, and then we can obviously answer any of those. If there's any questions from Reddit, we can answer those on here. We can answer those on our other social media platforms as well. And obviously, during the link, if you want us to order anything specific or play any specific games, we can obviously have that as well.
Yeah, I think it's a great platform. We're going to be able to do polls on there. We're going to have, it's going to be sort of the more feature-rich environment for people to interact with the Royal Link Up. And any stream clips that you catch us like during the live streams that we're planning to do, all of that sort of stuff, put it all in there, and let's try and get a nice bubbling community on the subreddit.
Absolutely. So moving on with episode number 3. So obviously last week Devastate got the opportunity to interview myself, and you got to find out a little bit more about me. And this week we're going to interrogate Masanevre as much as we can to get all the information we can about him. So Masanevre, let's kick off. How long have you been gaming for? Where did your gaming career, shall we say, begin?
So it actually started in the very late 80s. We got one of those tape gaming machines, but it broke, and I actually can't recollect the name of it. Then after that broke, it was a couple of years later, we got an Amiga 500 Plus for Christmas of 91. So yeah, that was when sort of...
And for our younger audience, Mace, who have no idea what that is, a brief description. What games would have been on it that someone might have heard about?
So Lotus Turbo Challenge 2, Zool, Super Frog. Those sorts of games. So.
And
Lotus game was a racing game, I presume. What was Super Frog? What type of game was that?
It was a platformer, same as Zool was as well. Fire Force, that was another one. That was a sort of side scroll sort of shooting game.
Interesting. Okay, and then where did you go from a gaming perspective then after the Amiga?
So in '95, got first PC. It was a P120 Pentium. What was it? We had 16 megabytes, was it? With this
high-powered gaming device then, yeah?
Veil PC, I think it was. So
Veil PC. Did you have any consoles or not?
I didn't actually get a console until 2001. First console I got was a Dreamcast.
So for those of our younger audience, Dreamcast was made by Sega, which is probably a brand that you associate with Sonic would probably be the most relevant brand you would associate with Sega. But yeah, Sega were very, very big in the 80s and the 90s and the early, just about into the early 2000s as well. I mean, what does Sega do anything nowadays or not? I mean, they're obviously
They create
around.
games, but
Yeah.
they're just out of the console.
Yeah,
It's all about licensing their IP.
Yeah. And what is your greatest gaming memory, Masanevre?
I mean, I suppose there was one instance that sticks out at a Raw Link Up, although it wasn't me who actually created the moment. Another gamer did when we were playing Left 4 Dead, and I think there was sort of like this. It was 4v4, so you have like 4 humans versus the infected, and basically someone was playing as one of the charger characters and just timed it to perfection, where there was about 3 or 4 of the whole team getting up on up this ladder and on top of this sort of this building, and because he timed his charge so perfectly, knocking the team basically all out of the game essentially as a result. So it's probably one thing that sticks in my mind back. Well,
Yeah, I was going to say Left 4 Dead. We played a lot of Left 4 Dead back in the day, particularly late at night. It was a really, really good game to play. When was the original Left 4 Dead? It must have been late tens.
Yeah, it was because it was 2011 when we were playing it at that, and we've been playing it before that. So yeah, it was a couple of 2000
nearly
2009
15 years ago. 15 years ago, nearly. So what game or game type are you best at, and why?
I was probably historically been better at first-person shooter games. I think generally sort of Unreal Tournament.
Which one? 2004.
Yeah, 2004. Was good at Action Quake 2, which was a mod for Quake 2. I was pretty good at that. I started playing that at Link Up, at the sort of the first Link Up in '99, and I was playing it quite a lot online in 2000. So yeah, pretty good at that.
When was Unreal? Unreal? There was an Unreal 2 that tournament 2004. Did we do Instagib then, or was that 2007?
No, we did Instagib. You could do Instagib on 2004 because the map. It was this. Yeah, because that map I'm pretty sure existed on Unreal Tournament, which was out in '99. So
yeah,
I'm sure we were.
What's for the viewers? What's Instagib?
So Instagib was like a one-shot kill. This gun you had on this map, it had like a low grav, and you fire the gun, and your opponent just dies instantly. You just respawn. Very fast paced.
Yeah, very, very fast paced. Right, moving on to honestly one of the biggest topics of the Link Up, which is takeaways. So talk to me about what's your ideal takeaway day at Link, incorporating 3 takeaways. So you can have breakfast, lunch, dinner. You can have lunch, dinner, something late at night. What does that look like? What you order in? And we're going to need specifics here, because I know the viewers absolutely love our views on takeaways, particularly based off our first podcast episode where there was a lot of controversy.
I don't know who would actually deliver the full English breakfast, but my preference would be to have some kind of a full
Toby
English breakfast.
Carvery. If we could get a Toby Carvery.
Yeah.
So I live quite near a Toby Carvery, and I've had a Toby Carvery breakfast delivered. And
is it any good?
Is massive.
Mass, what would be if you're getting a full English? What is on your full English and quantities?
I mean, I'd have the bacon, the sausage.
No. How many bits of bacon? How many sausages?
3 bacon, 2 sausage, 2 hash browns, beans, cooked tomato, fried bread.
Egg?
Any eggs?
Oh, sorry, 2 eggs. Yep, 2 fried eggs. Yep, please.
Toast.
Oh yeah, I said the fried toast. Yeah.
Fried bread.
No, you got fried bread and toast. Obviously, 2 very different things.
Sorry,
Fried bread has got 3 million calories per slice. And obviously toast is just your bog standard toast. I'm just trying to think, is it black pudding or not?
Not for me, no. And same for the mushrooms, I'd pass as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's no need for mushrooms. I mean, I'd probably swap out the tomato and add more sausages. I'm all about the meat.
Yeah.
Right, moving on. Talk to us. Obviously, I think we've got a grasp.
So
Sorry, what were you
lunch,
going to
though.
say?
But I
Oh,
say
yeah,
that
sorry.
would be-
Yeah, as I was coming
Yeah.
back to it, yeah.
I'm trying to move on too fast here, Devastate. I'm trying to move
Yeah.
on too fast. So that's your breakfast.
Lunch, I mean, I'd probably go for something like Mexican, like a fajita or something. I mean, I don't think we ever really had that, but when I've had it outside of the link, it's been delicious. So, I mean, anything like that, I'd like to try on a takeaway. So, definitely.
Chicken or steak fajitas?
Probably chicken,
Spicy or not spicy?
not spicy.
Yeah, I mean, I'd take a Mexican any day. Have we got a Mexican anywhere near where the venue is this year?
Well,
I
I'm
don't
not
think
sure.
we do.
I mean, the question, I suppose, Mass, is, I mean, in my mind, a fajita is basically a burrito without rice.
Yeah, to a certain degree. Yeah.
So, would you have a burrito? Would you have that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I do like a
there's
burrito.
Yeah, I love a burrito because there's definitely burrito places near us that we can get delivered, isn't there? And some good ones at that too.
Mm.
And then talk to us about your dinner, Mace. What are you ordering?
I mean, it's going to either be a KFC or a Burger King, I think.
No. There's a lot of controversy on the KFC or the Burger King because obviously on podcast episode number 1, Devastate and I put Burger King on the elite tier. And
no, we put it. We put it top of A.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, my bad. No,
I
thought it was elite.
No,
I thought we put. You sure? Because
No.
we had Domino's. I thought we had Domino's, Burger King, and Chinese on elite.
No, it was Weatherspoons was elite.
Oh yeah.
I think we put Burger King top of A.
Yeah. So is it Burger King or KFC, Mason? What are you getting?
Going to go for the. I think at the moment I'm feeling Burger King, and it will just be sort of.
Is that because you're hungry now?
That is what, yeah. But also because I've recently had Burger King and I was quite impressed. So I suppose it's got that. So for me, I'll go Burger King. Go for the what is it, the Whopper. But then you just go for the
because obviously Burger King obviously not just recently introduced the XL bacon, because obviously my go-to is the XL bacon double cheese. Just can't go wrong with it. It's nearly 1,000 calories a burger. It's just absolutely ideal. But they've just recently, because I went to a Burger King a couple of weeks ago, they've introduced the XL bacon triple. So 3 burgers, and it's absolutely enormous. So absolutely, I'm getting that during the link up. Absolutely.
I'd be happy with that as well. That would,
You know, the one thing I would say about Burger King when you get delivered is that the containers that they put their chips in, they're like all covered over properly, and it keeps the heat in. When you get like a KFC or McDonald's, they're just in their usual serving things, and you get them, and the chips are all over the bag, like they're cold. At least BK have got it right; they've actually got dedicated cartons for their delivery.
Interesting, because at the venue where the link up this year, I don't think they've ever had Burger King delivered, because in the sort of area where the link up usually is, we haven't ever usually been able to get Burger King, but apparently we now can. So we'll have to definitely look at that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a solid day of food there, Mass. I mean, you got to be looking at comfortably 4,000 calories there.
And
I think
if I could, I'd go for a dessert then as well. One of those.
Go on there, top it off then.
What, so Burger King?
Or no, just one of the ice cream chains that you get. Was it Treats or something like that? So having one of their sort of either something that's either chocolate or strawberry.
And on the dessert front, Masanevre, are you a cake? Are you more of a cookie? Are you an ice cream? What sort of dessert would you ideally go for?
It would be ice cream based.
Okay.
Ice cream based.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, Devastate. I'd have all 3. I'd have a cake with a cookie and some ice cream on top. Maybe just make it into a massive F-off cookie sandwich. Yeah, And I like so something that the viewers will be interested to hear. So one year, we all wanted some ice cream at the Link Up, and there wasn't like dessert places weren't really a thing back then. So we called up Domino's and we ordered 14 tubs of Ben and Jerry's, and that's all we ordered. And it was honestly absolutely fantastic. And then the freezer then just took an absolute pounding, having just literally just Ben and Jerry's, cookie dough, fish food, caramel choo choo, chocolate brownie. Oh, good times, good times.
That's a good
No,
one.
that's
So, what is your then, Beef? What is your Ben and Jerry's ice cream then?
oh, caramel choo choo done.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I'd take any of them. I'd take any of them. Like, if you give me one, I'd eat all of them. It has to be one of the full fat ones. None of these low fat, low calorie jobbies. I want all the calories.
And Masanevre?
Is it? Is it chocolate fudge? Is it, or is it another
chocolate
name?
fudge brownie.
It is chocolate fudge. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one for me. Yeah,
See,
I'm good.
I've always gone. My default's always been cookie dough
Yeah.
every day of the week. What's the chocolate one? The chocolate one with the chocolate bits in it.
Oh, that's chocolate fudge brownie.
Is that chocolate fudge brownie? That is awesome as well.
That's
I mean, maybe we should do that this year. Just although they won't be the price that they were back then, which was probably what
I think they're like £7 from Domino's.
£7 a tub.
What we should do is we're going to do a run. We're going to do a supermarket run, and we'll just go and buy like 14 tubs of Ben and Jerry's because they're always on like deals and stuff in supermarkets.
Yeah.
I mean, that sort of defeats the object of the Link Up, doesn't it, Devastate, in terms of having to like go to a supermarket? Because obviously, from a gaming perspective, we have no time to go and buy food. We order it at our desks, turns up at the front door, we come and get it, and then we sit back at the desk.
No, someone
10 seconds.
Someone has to get it on the way there, or like on the way coming to the Link Up.
Yeah, I suppose they could.
That's the only rule.
Obviously, with things like Uber Eats now and delivery, you can just get it delivered from the actual supermarket as well, can't you? And obviously, Tesco now got Tesco Whoosh. So I've never tried Tesco Whoosh, but that's obviously something we can look at as well.
Well, just to deviate slightly, Deliveroo have been doing their £7 off when you spend £20 at selected places, and Wenzel's is on there. I'm not gonna lie, they have been absolutely battered.
The Wenzel's breakfast last year were excellent, to say the least. I actually think with one of my credit cards, I also get two £5 vouchers per month on Deliveroo as well, which I could definitely utilise. So you're going to definitely be looking at that for sure.
Okay.
All right, and then final question, Masanevre, for the viewers to get an idea about you. What do you like to do or get up to outside of gaming?
I like to watch movies. That's generally what I like to do, probably the most out of anything. I like walking, I suppose.
Yeah, Masanevre and I went on a 7-mile walk the other evening, which was delightful. Solid 1,800 calories burnt in preparation for the Link Up, because we're going to be consuming many calories during the week.
And I like playing board games as well.
What sort of board games do you like playing? Because obviously there'll be quite a few of the viewers or listeners, shall we say, who are interested from a board games perspective. And obviously we've done many board games days, weekends throughout the years. What are some of your board game highlights that would come to mind?
Well, in terms of game-wise, I mean, one of my favorite games is Detective City of Angels, which is like it is a detective game set in sort of the 1940s of America, and you play as a detective, and you're moving around the map in investigating a sort of a crime, and sort of interacting and speaking with other characters whilst you're trying to solve the crime before other people do. and somebody else plays as like the chisel, which is essentially the dungeon master, and they're trying to sort of throw you off the scent of the crime. They don't want you to solve it at all within the allotted time. So every time I played that, that's been absolutely fantastic. The only downside to that game is that once you've played a particular case, you know that case, you'd have to have quite a gap between playing that case again, or if you've got a great memory, it's not worth it. Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, hopefully, those of you who are listening and watching have now got a good idea about Masanevre as one of the link up crew. Moving on to pastures new, or should we say next topics. I'm in the process of getting a new PC. So my PC at the moment is it's about 5-6 years old. I'm currently running a 2070, so it'll do most things fine at sort of 1080p, but anything more, it's struggling. So I'm in the process of putting together a spec sheet for that. So I don't really have a budget for it in mind, but I spec'd one out on Scan today. Came up at about $3,500. But yeah, looking at probably a 4080 Super, Ryzen 7 7800 X3D, 64 gig of RAM, and then all the RGB in the world, but predominantly like a white system setup. So hopefully you're going to get that ordered in the next probably week or two, something like that, so that I've got plenty of time to get it set up for the link up. But yeah, super excited for that because I'm looking forward to playing, particularly from my perspective, the new Arc, because that takes a lot of GPU power, and that'll obviously look absolutely fantastic as well. We'll probably have to get myself a new monitor as well, potentially. Do I go down the 4K route? Not entirely decided on that yet. I know it'll look absolutely fantastic, but at the moment I'm running 1440p at 144 hertz, and most stuff looks pretty good. But at the moment, hopefully going to get that ordered in the next couple of weeks. And now moving on to one really interesting part of the link up, which a lot of our viewers and listeners would be interested to hear about, is the origins of the link up and where did it originally start, and like obviously where it is now. So Masanevre, I think you're probably well placed to give us sort of an overview. And for those of you listening and watching, Masanevre has an unbelievable capability to memorize and remember stuff from a very, very long time ago. So he's very well placed for this. So Masanevre, over to you. What is the story and history of the link up?
It all began back in the spring of 1996. Basically, a friend of mine, one of his cats, was pregnant and was about to give birth. And I remember begging mum and dad if we could get another cat. We had an older cat, but I wanted a kitten. And eventually, after me nagging them, they sort of capitulated, and we didn't actually take one of my friends, but we went to what they call the Cats Protection League, and anyway, got my new kitten as I wanted, and mum was chatting to one of the neighbours and invited them over to come and see my new kitten. They came in and they were just about to leave after they'd seen the cat, and they sort of already had like sort of one leg out the door, and I sort of persuaded them to come back and have a look at a game I was playing on our. We just got this new PC just Christmas '95. This was sort of May '96 when they sort of came round, and they were going, oh wow, yeah, this is great. We've got a PC as well. We could play games against you. So they started bringing their PC round to ours in the living room, just sort of dumping it on the coffee table and then linking it up between our PC and their PC. It's this sort of that we tried to like a cable, like a made up serial cable, but it didn't work. And then we bought this other cable and it worked, and we were able to played a lot of sort of Doom 2. Then sort of sometime after that, we'd sort of be playing things like Quake and Duke Nukem 3D.
Duke Nukem 3D, what a game, by the way! What a game!
sometime after that, I think didn't like the inconvenience of having to keep de-rigging the PC and bringing it over, which is understandable. So in the summer of '97, we got like this LAN cable that went from that person's house to our basically our living room. So we were linking
So
between
it's
the two
between
houses.
two houses, so the cable actually went outside the house.
Yeah, yeah.
Lots of health and safety was really good then.
So
hopefully it wouldn't rain.
no.
And of course, this is when you didn't really have home internet, so was the only real way to play multiplayer games.
Yeah, because we didn't have internet until January of '99. So this is like '96 to onwards, and so we did that, and we had some mini link ups. I think where they had some people at their house, and we had some people at our house. Just a handful of people. And anyway, moving forward to sort of it was April of '99, so it was the Easter holidays. The neighbor rang me up and said that they were at somebody else's house playing games, and they had a spare PC, and they wanted somebody else to sort of use the PC. So anyway, they very kindly sort of like let me come along, and went around there, and we were playing games. In particular, it was Team Fortress Classic. There was a map called Hunted, where people had to be either the soldier, the hunted, which is like this VIP guy where all he had is like a crowbar or what looked like an umbrella, and then the snipers that were trying to take the VIP out. So the VIP had to be escorted by these soldiers to the other point of the map, and we played that loads. But anyhow, after that link itself had finished, the one of the chaps said, "Oh, we're going to host another one, but on a sort of grander scale in the summer." And so in the first week of the 6 weeks holidays in July '99, went back to that same venue, and this time we had probably the best part of about 15, 16 or so people, and
Wow.
that started that was the start or the beginning of the Raw Link in that summer of '99.
15 or so, because I think the most that I've ever had, I've ever been to from a link up perspective, I think we had 16 one year, didn't we?
17 in 2004.
17.
So
And oh wow, 17. Yeah, that would have been very warm. That would have been very warm with 17. But it doesn't matter how big your house is at 17 PCs.
I don't even know how he would have fitted in that many people.
Well, I mean, I can't even remember whose house it was at, but I vividly remember like people playing on like tiny desks.
Yeah.
Like I remember Iceman playing on his laptop on a desk. I'm not even joking. It was a little bit wider than his laptop, and he had a tiny little mouse next to it. And I was like, Iceman, how are you how? But he had like an enormous screen laptop, didn't he?
I suppose if you think about it, back in the day, no one had these great big 27-inch, 32-inch monitors. Everyone had almost 4x3s, 17-inch monitors that, like, I mean, they went back a long way, but actually, width-wise, you actually didn't need a lot of width to operate.
Because a 17, 19-inch monitor isn't actually that wide. It's just so deep and heavy.
Yeah.
Like all the at the moment, like obviously, like all of us are running flat screen monitors, but back in the day when honestly the 90 I think someone had a 21-inch CRT and you could barely carry it one person because it was so heavy. Wow. Okay. Anything else from a history perspective? I was going to say, Mass.
Take us onwards from that, Mass.
So from '99 to 2000, we used the same sort of venue, and then after that, we weren't able to use that venue, so we moved to a new venue in 2001. Few people from.
That's when I joined.
2002, you joined.
Oh, sorry, wrong year.
So from 2001, we in the new venue. There was some people didn't join us who had come in both '99 and 2000. There's a bit of, I suppose you could argue there was a bit of a transitional period from sort of 2001 to then 2005 when we changed venues again. And you could probably say for the vast majority of people from 2005 onwards, the people who've come in that year or who were there are still going now. There's been some changes. Some people have come in and gone out or come back and so on, but generally the
I
core
think that's
is
probably.
the same.
Yeah, I was going to about to say it's probably a good thing to mention that there are people who have sort of come in and out of the link up group, should we say, but they are still part of our friendship group, but they don't necessarily attend the link up anymore. And maybe that be because of they've moved away or etc. etc. But there's also people who we used to game with when we were a lot younger, when we were in our late teens and early 20s, who we haven't phased them out as such, but they've sort of just moved away and therefore no longer part of the link up. But the core of the people who the viewers and the listeners see at the moment have pretty much been there for the best part of 20 years, haven't we?
Yeah, most people. Yeah.
How many different gamers do you reckon we've had over the years?
I would say we're looking between anything up to 40 to 50 different people, probably, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Something around that.
Yeah, because we get a lot of questions say, "Oh, can I join? Can I join the link up?" But generally, it's people who we've known for 20 years. The plus there's very few who are part of the, should we say, core people who have been around the link up for sort of 15, 20 years who have just randomly come in. So unfortunately, there's no opportunity for anyone to join. Unless you meet us, become friends with us, then start gaming with us every week, and then we might consider you. But on the whole, it's very unlikely that's going to happen, unfortunately.
Or write a sizable check.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, then we can start hosting the link up at a professional venue. We get catering in. We have a gym there. We have a DJ. We have a chef probably, and then we can then start.
We don't need a chef. We'd have VIP Dominoes.
Black card on KFC as well, wouldn't we? No, is it Nando's?
Nando's. No, Nando's is a C.
Yeah, C tier. Very much a C tier.
Okay, great stuff, Mass. Can you tell us some more? Like, just expand on it maybe a bit more for us, if you want to.
As I was saying, it's just that core group. I suppose you could when you look back at previous years, you kind of identify those years as well by the game that you played. There's always a focal point. Like 2016 is very much Grand Theft Auto.
And Rust the year before, wasn't it?
No, it was 2014.
2014, sorry. I always get 15 and 14 muddled up.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto, I think I racked up 36 hours on Grand Theft Auto.
And bear in mind, so we game for an entire week. So we game Sunday morning to Saturday night, the following Saturday night. So it's pretty much a full week. And we'll do, back in the day, we would game for a lot longer because we had a lot more energy and we weren't as old as we are now. So back in the day, we would probably game from 10 in the morning roughly till maybe 4, 5, 6 in the morning. So we'd comfortably do 18-hour days, no problem at all. But now we do probably 9:30 till about 1, 2 a.m, something like that. I think is fair to say. So to rack up 36 hours in on one game in 1 year is quite a feat given how many games. Yeah, in 1 week, given how many games that we would play during the week. Because generally we don't go, right, we're just going to play one game all week. We'll try and play a variety of games depending on time of day, how many people are there, what people want to play. And to rack up 36 hours on GTA is just an astronomical number. But I dread to think what the likes of Dustle and Vedic racked up from a
Windward?
Windward, Ark.
Oh, Windward.
How many hours they racked up on those games because Ark was 2015, 16, the original alpha when it came out, when we got it for like £3 back in the day. So yeah, numbers wise on numbers wise. Yeah,
Sorry,
Rust.
go on.
Rust. I was going to say Rust. We played an insane amount of time on.
So we only uncovered Rust in 2014 on the Thursday, but once we found it, we didn't stop. We basically played that all the way through to the Sunday morning. I mean, it was If we'd found that at the start of the week, that's probably all we would have played, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably it from a timeline perspective, because I think like we've covered sort of where from a history perspective where the link up began, and sort of where it's come to now. A little bit of background on games and timelines, etc. So hopefully that's given you guys a good flavour from a link up history perspective, and as well as getting to know Masanevre a bit better.
Yeah.
But I will pass it over to my co-host Sam to finish up the podcast.
Yeah, so I've got just one last question for Masanevre, but before I do that, I just want to do a quick shout out to say, hopefully next week me and Beefy will be wearing the merch that's available from the royallinkup.com website, so go and get ordering on there. Second of all, I just want to do a quick shout out to Corviar, who sent us a picture of the tumbler that came in. So I'll actually just stick it up on here as well. Thank you very much, Core, as being our first person to purchase merch. And if you want to join Core, just say get on there and get your stuff sorted. Say hopefully, fingers crossed, next week all of mine and Beefy's garments will be in place. Mass, don't worry. I'm sure the next time the guys see you, you'll be sporting a baseball cap or t-shirt or something like that. But that's pretty much it from me. But the question I have, and the final question I have for Mass is, are there any games that you're looking forward to playing at this year's Royal Link Cup?
So, yes, I might need to do the selling the benefits on them. So I've recently been playing a lot of Team Fortress Classic. So I'm hoping to see if I can convince someone to join me on that.
When did Team Fortress Classic come out? Did it have a 19 in front of it?
Well, we were playing it at the Raw Link in 2002. So we played it in 1999. We played it at the first Raw Link Cup. So yeah.
I mean, you're going to struggle, I think, to get anyone playing that. Maybe I'd quite happily play Team Fortress 2 again. I think that's a really good game. I think it always will be a good game.
That's we have to pay that private because that got completely botted to be beyond belief.
So someone released a standalone game which is it's essentially Action Quake 2, but it's just called Action. I wouldn't mind trying that. And I'm a huge fan of Northgard. Northgard's probably my second favorite RTS game after Command and Conquer Generals, which would be my favorite. Command and Conquer Generals, and then for me, Command and Conquer Generals has probably had the greatest add-on ever with 0 Hour when you had those different generals. So I'd love to see a remaster version of Generals, but for now, I'm really happy with Northgard. I think it's fantastic.
I agree. I have just literally today downloaded X-Defiant, so I'm looking to give that a go over the next week. Also got Sins of a Solar Empire 2 in beta stroke alpha. So I play that today for about 3 hours. So that's in a lot better place than it was when it first came out. So it's got 2 races now. It's not getting full released until Q3, so it will miss the link. But I think it's in a good enough state to play. Now the only issue is it's only on Epic Game Store. It's not on Steam. But I know that there are a few people that already have it. So it might be that's a game that we do play. It is so different,
really,
from the first one. Sorry, from Sins of Solar Empire. Yeah, like it's so like your muscle memory will not work in the game. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Right.
You'll have to learn.
2 other games I can think of as well: Deceiving Corporate or Deceiving.
Yeah.
That was a game last year that was available. Didn't have LAN capability, but it does now.
Ooh,
So I really
nice.
would like to try that game. And I think, the finals was the other one, which is a first-person shooter,
Oh
team-based,
yeah, I've seen
very
that. Yeah.
fast-paced. But
Very fast paced.
yeah, no, that looks great. I've tried it a bit, and I thought it
Cool.
was very good.
I think we'll
So-
probably play some Starship Troopers again, won't we?
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
I think Ready or Not, wouldn't
Yes.
mind playing more of that, and Rainbow Six. Yeah.
GTA racing. I want to do some GTA races because I think that would be a lot of fun if we can get everyone on that as well.
Yeah,
And
and there's some great mods for that. And what we'll probably have by this time next year, we'll probably have the new GTA.
New GTA.
So this will be the last time that we can probably play it.
I think Rockstar released the date. It's going to be in the autumn of next year, I believe.
Oh,
So
is
will
it?
be
Okay.
coming. But it will be. But if I will most certainly have to buy a new PC in order to run that one. So
well, I mean, obviously, once Rockstar starts seeing our podcast, they'll probably, hopefully, try and get us to launch it at the link up next year. So,
Yeah, I mean,
Rockstar, if you're listening, just slide into our DMs. More than happy to help, and sponsored by Domino's, of course.
yeah, a monster. We will eventually get that monster deal.
Yeah.
Cool. That is it for me. So I just want to say thank you very much, Masanevre, for joining us on episode 3 of the podcast. Did you have a good time?
I did. Thanks for having me as well.
That's good. You are more than welcome back anytime. But thank you very much for watching episode 3. My name has been Devastate.
And I'm the amazing Sniper Beef.
And I was Masanevre. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us.
See you, peeps. Bye.